Cryptographic Sequencer Origins is the wait a minute. Batman Arkham Origins is the best Arkham game ever made. Now calm down, City fans, just hear me out. Though a mess this game is, a beautiful, twisted, broken, but heartfelt mess, there's something about this game that has become a tradition every time around winter for me. A game I have completed more than 20 times calls to me like the classic movies of old where you throw it on and enjoy it all over again like the first time. Origins is my favorite of the Batman games. To me, nothing seems to come close to the strange feeling I get playing this game. The music, the environments, the story, and the gameplay even. A game that at some points is so definitively mediocre, and at the same time a gem that outshines moments of the others has become something of a forgotten shadow. A black sheep, as many have called it. An outcast not even accepted by its betters in the Steam bundle. The trilogy, despite being in nearly every metric better than Asylum, is so easily dismissed. I love and hate this game. I don't think I'm the only one either. A flawed, broken masterpiece. Sort of. Unlike a lot of other retrospectives here that really try their best to try and convince you this is a masterpiece in disguise, I really want to be honest when I say this game is not great. It is death by a million nitpicks. This is why Batman Arkham Origins is a bad but good game. The story of Arkham Origins is a strange case of being too afraid to take risks and not knowing exactly where it wants to go. This game's pacing is one that seems to be born from a team of writers that went off to do their own versions of the script. While they came back while the team was already in development, they all had someone take their scripts and cut out pieces to form this game's story. Sometimes you can almost feel the shift in style between missions. A cohesion is lost. Setups that were well constructed are tossed in the trash or revealed way too early, out of ignorance or fear that the player is not invested enough to keep going. The CG trailer that is so well made and still revered today has a much different idea than the main game developed out to be. Enough preamble, let's get to this game. Any story has its three parts, beginning, middle, and end. And what's so strange about Origins is how profoundly boring and uninteresting the beginning is and how stunted the ending is. We start off with a creative idea. Batman's cowl is still shiny new. He's a young man filled with a lot of rage, but is smart and calculated enough to hone his anger into being a ruthless crime fighter. In just a matter of 2 years, he himself says how powerful of an impact he has on the crime in Gotham.
But who do you see when you look at me? The boy whose shoes you used to tie every morning? The teenager you drove to his first date? While you are here every night, I am out there. The only thing between the innocent and the predator. No, not maybe. I am. When the mugger or the thief stops to think twice, that is fear. That is what I am. That is why they hired assassins, because I am the reason the criminals breathe easier when the sun rises. So no, Alfred, I am not in over my head. Tonight will not be my end, but it will be theirs.
The later Batman of the Arkham series is refined, a much more familiar Batman. He's had his go at all the main menagerie of villains. It's established. Yet here, this is someone who spent all his time fighting petty thugs, small-time crime bosses. His Christmas Eve is about to change him into the man we know, slowly but surely. A big breakout is happening at Blackgate Prison. In this opening, we go from the strongest thing Origins has, which is spectacle, to the mundane hallways of a prison. Uninteresting level design hiding behind the fact that it is nothing more than a glorified tutorial, and a horrible one at that. And the story moves with a whimper and you slowly come to one of Origins' most blatant fetishes, slow-mo. This game is obsessed with slow motion. Why am I talking about slow-mo in this first section? Because at every turn it whips you out of the investment. Nothing can just carry its own weight. Someone at Montreal just couldn't help themselves, man. Just let a single moment stand without slow-mo. You fight Killer Croc on the rooftop, and his design honestly is uninspired. He shows up in very little of the game, and that's already too much. Nothing is characteristic about him. He's bland, a complete downgrade from his depiction in Asylum. The fight is over quick, and we're back to the Batcave to analyze a drone that has been following our tracks. Somehow, it has a highly edited, movie-like introduction to a group of assassins all after Batman. Turns out Black Mask, Roman Sionis, put a bounty of 50 million on Batman. Afterward, he intends to find the operator of the drone and to find Black Mask to put him behind bars. This is our setup. Unfortunately, to ruin this boost of excitement right after the prison break, the game thinks we need more tutorials. And here you'll find two of the biggest blights to pacing, the detective mode and the cryptographic sequencer. In all but one time when it is actually used correctly to build tension, the game will crash to a halt harder than my son running into oncoming traffic. There is also no way to speed it up since it bases itself on dialogue that even a lobotomized Arkham patient could figure out. It's not interesting, it's not hard, and in many cases it should have just been removed to speed up the pacing. And right after this, you used my nemesis, the cryptographic sequencer again. A brain-dead device that is nothing more than to spice up just pressing a button. These two aspects are just time sinks. And with that, you're set out on the open world, where you're on the hunt for the Penguin's hideout. Gee, I wonder where he could be. Definitely not the giant skyscraper-sized Titanic in the shipyard that hosts huge Colosseum fights on its hold and a missile system all along the top. I don't know, he really could be anywhere, guys. Where would the Penguin be? Though I give it a hard time, this is where the game picks up. Combat is now your oyster. The classic stealth and Arkham combat is here. Well, if you don't know what the gameplay of Batman Arkham is, what are you doing? It's like definitive staples at this point. Batman enters the ring instead of going into a more stealthy way like his older self would have. He takes a bold approach.
And he deserves a right proper welcome, don't he, lads?
You just saved me a lot of trouble coming here, Batman. I'm gonna kill you. Then I'm gonna jumpstart your heart. And kill you again. Are you ready?
I'm looking for Black Mask. Where is he?
I ain't here to talk. I'm here to kick your ass.
This is your last chance.
You're about to be taught a lesson instead.
Who wants to show me where the Penguin is?
This is where the sensation of Batman feeling as if he's untouchable really shows. I really like that he is purely calculated on getting what he wants and is not afraid to push his limits. After goofing around the ship, you reach the Penguin. He's not even really interested in you. He thinks Batman is a joke and is preoccupied with his squabble with the Falcone business. And in these pre-rendered cutscenes that are honestly awesome, we get some stellar voice acting, especially from Roger Craig Smith, who does a great job in Kevin Conroy's stead. Though Kevin Conroy will always be the Batman, this doesn't discredit Smith's great work on his character, who was able to throw a range of emotions into his voice. After finding out about a mysterious murder at Lacey Towers, perhaps Black Mask is already dead or kidnapped, and here we come to a beloved fight of the game. Everyone remembers the Deathstroke fight. Though listen man, let's be honest, it's nothing more than a stroke to play this fight.
It appears the game is over before it even begins.
I'm not playing games, Slade.
You can't keep getting away with it!
This is nothing more than a glorified QuickTime event. This game is obsessed with slow-mo and QuickTime events. And in small and controlled amounts, I have no problem with them, but alongside slow-mo, this game practically is built around the QuickTime event. Deathstroke, a cool character reduced to a series of repeated animations and mashing Y. Though I consider this his definitive version, it's visually cool, but only until you realize it's the same 3 animations spammed consistently. And to ensure these animations don't come off jank, they have a system to where if you're even 10 feet off the middle of the arena, you do this flip animation to get you back in the middle. Oh, hold on. The only problem is that doing any fighting pushes you to the edge, so it's relentless. Couple hits in, you do a flip. Couple hits in, flip. And with Deathstroke down, we get a remote claw. It's a pretty solid upgrade. We get informed by Alfred that the murder at Lacey Towers is already being looked at by the police, and the victim is Black Mask. The antagonist of the game dead? Already? Now I'm intrigued. Something about this game that never gets old no matter how many times I play it is the environment. At every turn this game wants you to feel cold, the cruel storm outside. Gotham is encased in a pleasant warm glow beneath the deep blue. Environments are clouded with ruined Christmas decorations, and lights gleam in the gloom of the falling flakes. It really brings a perfect sensation to the game. Now with gained access into Black Mask's apartment, we get to investigate. The one time the investigation mechanic is used well in cooperation with the story. Turns out the body at the apartment is not Black Mask, but a double. The real one is still out there, taken away by an unknown assailant, one not shy to violence. Batman decides he needs to cross-reference the DNA sample of the assailant with the GCPD database. Again, one of the standout missions of the game I always look forward to. Now in hindsight, I'm really exhausted with the cops being corrupt writing. It's a tired trope in the modern day, but at the time it was fairly well handled. I mean, mildly well handled. It's a bit over the top. Batman treats them no different than the criminals in... What is that sound? Why is the paper so loud? Oh, that's right. This game was majorly sold on PhysX. How could I forget all those commercials? Now, sadly though, this has become lost technology, and without a PhysX card, a tremendous amount of detail is lost from this game. It's honestly a downgrade. I remember vaguely as a kid how cool it was to have the smoke react to you and the snow, but sadly, Nvidia has let this beautiful and fascinating technology become lost media. And playing this on modern hardware, it's fundamentally ruined. You get the paper. That's about it. You happy? That's all you get. Your $2,000 card can't simulate wind, and the game is worse off for it. Soon enough, your beloved RTX will be no different. Anyway, getting into the GCPD, we sneak around and get to see my favorite version of Gordon, with a strong sense of justice and very apprehensive and even hostile to Batman. A great part here I remember fondly as a kid is the briefing room, with a ton of dudes that you're incentivized to ignore. But the game gives you a nice touch of free will to just try your hand at it. That's some of the charm of this game. Seeing the secret drawings of what the other cops think of Gordon. The one dude who has a picture of his side piece alongside his family photo. Oh wait, hang on, I gotta open up a door. There's a lot of great level design here. After connecting to the database, you find out about a bank heist going on across the bridge. Inside, you find the staff all dead with bizarre and twisted poses. You manage to get inside the vault and are confronted with a great cutscene. But Black Mask and Black Mask are in the same room, the supposed dead man. Turns out Roman Sionis had been played at his own game and in his own story. And the twist?
It's been you this whole time. You hired the assassins. You've been running Sionis' operation.
Well, technically it's my operation now.
Now, I hate to tell you, I lied. I lied to you. Because the game tells you this twist all the way back at Lacey Towers.
She was sending text messages to Roman Sionis about someone named the Joker.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Hours ago, it blatantly looks at the screen and winks and says, "Hey, the Joker. Hey, wow, I wonder who that could be." And pun intended, what a total joke. What a wasted twist. And to be honest, it feels so ham-fisted. Like Warner Brothers Montreal were so worried nobody would be interested in their game unless the Joker was in it. And the shame is that other villains would have and already outshined the Joker in this game. And this is an aspect that wears on me every time I return. I am really tired of Troy Baker. I can't stand him anymore. Not that he doesn't do a good job in this game, but he's in everything now, and that actively ruins older products. And when Mark Hamill just did City, it's really hard to follow up. And the writing for the Joker, in every good line you get, there's a world of horrible dialogue that feels bought off Fiverr.
When I hire you to kill the Batman, you shut the hell up and kill the Batman! Brother!
Honestly, scratch that. Some writing is better on Fiverr than here. I also I'm not a fan of Troy Baker the person, but the only time he really blew it out of the water was Joel. That was a magnificent performance. Anyway, that's a tangent. You go to the Steelworks, a poor man's Scarecrow. Copperhead is by far the worst of the crew by being unoriginal. Even Firefly, for goodness sake, is memorable. Another charming detail is this room with the turret door. Instead of just jumping down and fighting everyone when you sneak in, you can disable the turret and walk in as they panic about the turret not working. It's a great moment. The strange thing that happens to me at this point in the game, and only at this point, the combat seems to bug. Or maybe it always was. It's hard to tell. But after this point in the game, only after this point, like it's haunted or something, my attacks have horrible tracking. It results in stupid mistakes. Like here, for example, I try to grapple this big guy in front of me. Instead of hitting the guy inches from me to stop the attack, twice I grapple the dude in the next dimension. I think the game has a hierarchy of threat. This is just a theory here, my game theory. Like the grapple chose the guy with the gun over the armored goon. Though the armored guy was indeed more dangerous, he wasn't about to fire, and I myself, the human, in control, intended to stop the beefcake inches away from my face. Almost every encounter after this will have at least one or two moments like this. And it's well, hold on, I gotta open the door. Down here, Batman gets poisoned and has hallucinations of his failures. Here's the thing though, some of these doubts we've not really seen come through in the story. They're underdeveloped. Like Commissioner Loeb? Really? The one that is and actually matters to the story is Alfred being disappointed in him. Fair enough, I gotta give him that. Then we promptly slam Copperhead harder than a neutron star. And then we find out Joker is holding a meeting at the Royal Hotel. This right here is the tip of the spear. The game is at its best. Great stealth encounters, great set pieces. I always remember this part just like Penguin's ship in the harbor. The spectacle is great, like having the angle of the news helicopter, the magnitude of the hotel's size. It's very pretty in a lot of places. It's very well rounded, and doesn't overstay its welcome, unlike the Firefly fight. You get the shock gloves that are just an instant win button, and by this point in the game, you're sick of the combat, so would I prefer the combat to just be good outright? Yes, of course. But if I'm going to be tortured by the inconsistent, broken enemies, I will just take the broken gloves, thank you. One sore spot, though, is the clock room. There are these big bombs rigged to blow at New Year's, but in a clever twist, using your cryptographic sequencer like you had the entire game drains the timer to seconds. Now with all the charm in this game of allowing you to have free will to experiment on its on-rails story, what happens if you wait the timer out?
Oh, gotta say, I thought you'd have more fight in you. A lot more fight.
Oh, brother!
Yep. This is sadly the second to last good part of this game. It hits a prime moment and loses all its momentum. We have the setup for the Joker and Batman's endless back and forth. The writers did make the Joker have a fresh feeling, where he doesn't know Batman. He thinks he's a joke, and mainly tries to kill him rather than toy with who Batman really is. He's nothing more than a crook, a Joker without his Batman. I'll let him say it best here.
I'm the one who's trying to kill you. Those were two very, very bad men. Ooh, the things they've done. You really don't want to know. They deserved death. Just like me.
Where'd he go? Huh? The bat. Your partner. My partner?
Who else would jump off a building to save your sorry ass?
You know, officer.
I was wondering the same thing myself.
And after we get a great moment where we see how he subtly manipulates Harley and his new obsession of breaking the Batman's character. And the game kinda craps the bed at this point. All the subplots are thrown in for what feels like the sake of making the game longer. The Firefly fight devolves into a button masher. Though pretty, now there are plenty of people who talked about the subplot of Alfred and Bruce. It's a good part of the game, but them throwing in that Bane found out who Batman is and him trashing the Batcave is lame, and I'll explain. And I don't care if it's comic book stuff or any of this is comics. I know that kind of fan, please leave me alone about the comics, okay? But why would Bane, who wants to sidestep the Joker just to kill Batman at every turn, he blatantly does this all over the game, suddenly show restraint and not set up a massive trap to destroy Batman for good? In his own cave, mind you. That would have been a much more satisfying and justified moment. It's not about the money for Bane, he wants the bat. You sneak into the Batcave, maybe the Batwing gets blown up, sets a trap with explosives he can't escape, Alfred is held hostage. No, he and all of his men just leave and throw Alfred in the gutter. Are you for real? He doesn't even leave one guy behind? So he just comes in, trashes the place, beats up Alfred, and then is like, oh, okay, let me leave. It makes no sense. And after that, you go back to Blackgate. Bane apparently left to go back there and hardly help the Joker out, and it's a riot again. And as per usual, it's the same bland environments as before. At least it's incredibly short. And here's the prime reason to finish this game. The ending is incredible, in every sense of the word. The story, the gameplay, everything. It's an awesome ending. To capitalize on who the Joker and Batman now are, the Joker sets up a great plan. He puts Batman to the test, a lose-lose situation.
Holds in his hand is a heart monitor. Once he clamps it on, every beat of his bacon little heart will charge the battery on this electric chair. And when it's fully charged... So either you kill Bane...
No, I won't kill him.
But you will. You will fight me with all your resolve, or you will die. Someone is going to die. You, me, or the clown. The question of which one of us it is in your hands.
Even if you remove the heart monitor, it will kill the Joker instantly. He must kill Bane in order to save the Joker, or let Bane live and the Joker dies. Gordon is useless here, by the way. I just wanted to mention how beautifully he makes the situation worse. Great going, man.
You won't make it.
You don't need to.
Jim.
In an attempt to obfuscate the heart monitor, Batman intends to kill Bane, then resuscitate him with the shock gloves. And Joker, believing Batman is just like everyone else, he runs off. But in resuscitating Bane, you're thrown right back into it. The final fight is awesome. No big explosions, a true challenge. You have to sneak around Bane at max power and use stealth to take him out. And when you use a method, much like Mr. Freeze fight in City, he will actively ruin the method you just used. I really wish I could let the ending play because it's great. But the composer for this game had the bright idea to aggressively copyright it. And it's a shame because I'd love to praise it. And a lot of people would think maybe we should remaster this game. And I hate remasters. I hate them. But if they remastered this game, more of a remake, made it great, fixed all the issues, shifted the story, it'd be awesome. But with the composer copywriting all the music, they would have to redo all the music, with or without him.
Now that's not funny.
And it's a shame because the music is such a true aspect of this game. And it's a shame because the ending here with the Joker is really good. There are much better videos than mine that go into more detail. I don't want to tread over their work, and in the end, we're given the setup for the rest of the games. Playing these games in chronological order makes it much better. But why? Why, despite this game being at every turn a mess, a profoundly mediocre at most, and a forgotten game even by some of the biggest Arkham fans, why, despite all this, I love this game and play it almost yearly? By all metrics, this game is not good. And a lot of other videos try to convince you, like a parent trying to convince their kid broccoli is good, that Origins is actually a great game. This is one of the cases that I brought up in my fanboys video. My fond memories. Not fond in the moment, but looking back. This was my first Arkham game. I played this on a 2011 Dell school laptop. When the game would switch from cutscene to gameplay, it would take actual minutes to load back. And forget the open world. It was basically PowerPoint. And the multiplayer, I didn't even talk about multiplayer. I loved playing with my friends, some that don't even talk to me anymore. These were the moments we shared in a tacked on basic multiplayer mode for a single player Batman game. This is nostalgia. I won't try and gaslight you all or myself into thinking this game is amazing. To me though, for what it is, for its environments, its story, its heart, its failures, this is my favorite Batman game of all time. A true heartfelt memory for me. And I think it does deserve a little more respect for what it did do right for the series. Well, that video was long. I hope you liked it. I know this is like, why in the world am I talking about a Batman game? But this is one of those games that does mean a lot to me, despite it being utterly bad in every case. But I really appreciate if you watch this and giving me the time. I don't know what to say. Well, I did the, oh yeah, I remember. And so I turned on the memberships thing, and I threw in a couple funny emotes there, and when I stream with my friends, you'll be able to spam those at me, and that'd be kind of cool. And you get a funny little name beside your name if you want that. And you get access to cat pictures. I will regularly supply you with cat pictures. That sounds like a pretty good deal to me. Can get your name in the end of the video with your profile picture. Just don't make it anything too weird that'll get me banned, okay? I love you all, and have a wonderful, positive week. I'll see you next time. Bye.